Hi, Libra. Welcome back to Moonveil Tarot. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, I have to be honest with you about what's happening on their end right now because it's not good. It's actually really not good. Something hit them recently. Maybe in the last few days, maybe even today. And whatever it was, it cracked open the part of their head that was telling them they had time, that they could fix this whenever they wanted, that you'd be around, that none of what they did was really going to catch up to them. And now it has, all at once. And they are stressed, like properly stressed, not the regular kind. The kind where they're starting to understand they wasted something real. And there's no version of this where they get it back. Drop a comment right now and say, I see this clearly. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now and turn on that notification bell. Okay? Let's pull. So we've got the Tower, the Eight of Swords, and the Five of Cups. And honestly, this is exactly what's happening on their end right now. Let me walk through these. Tower first. And the Tower here isn't yours. It's theirs. They had this whole version of reality in their head where things were fine, where they could keep doing what they were doing, where you'd somehow always be available. And the Tower just knocked all of that over in one moment. One realization, maybe they heard something, maybe they saw something, maybe something just clicked in their head out of nowhere. But whatever it was, the story they were telling themselves about how this was all going to work out just collapsed. And now they're standing in the wreckage of it, trying to make sense of what just hit them. And the worst part of the Tower is you can't unsee what it shows you. Once you see what you've been ignoring, it's seen. And they're seeing it now. Then the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is when you can't escape your own head. And that's where they are right now. Going over every moment, every conversation, every time you tried, every chance you handed them, over and over. Because the Eight of Swords doesn't have an off switch. And the specific torture of the Eight of Swords is that you built the prison yourself. The walls aren't external. They're the stories you told yourself, the choices you made, the things you didn't do when you should have. And now they're trapped in all of that, surrounded by their own evidence of what they did. And there's no exit from that kind of trap, except sitting with it. And the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is the moment you realize what you lost. Not generally, specifically, like looking at the actual cups that spilled and understanding those cups were full of something real. And what they had with you was full of something real. They didn't treat it that way at the time. They treated it like it would always be there. And now they're standing over the spill, looking at it, understanding it, and the Five of Cups doesn't have a way to scoop it back up. You can't unspill. You can only stand there and look at what you lost. And that looking is what's stressing them out so much right now. And the Oracle card, the consequences arrived before they were ready. The consequences arrived before they were ready. And that's it. That's exactly what's happening. Because they had a plan. Their plan was that they'd get to keep being who they were, doing what they were doing, treating you the way they were treating you, and somehow it would all just be fine. And consequences arriving before they were ready means they didn't get to prepare for this. They didn't get to position themselves. They didn't get to manage their reaction. It just hit. And people who aren't ready for consequences don't handle them well. And they're not handling this well at all. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. The Four of Cups. The Magician reversed. Okay. Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Cups, and the Magician reversed. And these three, honestly, these are the cards that explain what they actually did with every chance you gave them. Seven of Pentacles reversed first. And the Seven of Pentacles upright is patient investment, tending to something, doing the work over time so it grows. And reversed, it's the opposite of that. They didn't invest, they didn't tend, they didn't show up consistently. They thought what you had with them was going to grow on its own, that they didn't have to water it, that they could come and go and it would still be there waiting for them. And the Seven of Pentacles reversed is what happens when you neglect something valuable. It doesn't stay valuable, it withers. And what was between you and them, what was real, what had potential, they let it wither. Not because they couldn't have shown up, because they didn't. Then the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is the worst card to pull in this position, honestly, because the Four of Cups is someone who can't see what's right in front of them. There's a hand offering them a cup, full, real, exactly what they're complaining about not having, and they don't see it. They're too checked out, too caught up in their own head, too focused on what's not there to notice what is. And that's what they were like every time you tried with them. Every conversation, every reach, every chance you offered them to do better, the cup was right there. You were holding it out. And they didn't see it. Or they saw it and dismissed it because it wasn't dramatic enough or shaped the way they wanted. And now the cup's been pulled back. And suddenly they're looking around going, wait, where's the cup? And the answer is, you held it out for so long they stopped seeing it. And now it's gone. And the Magician reversed. And this card here, this is the one that really tells me they had no excuse, because the Magician is someone with all the tools: communication, awareness, capacity, the ability to do the work. And reversed, they had all of that and chose not to use it, or used it for the wrong things, or pretended they didn't have it so they wouldn't have to do anything different. And the Magician reversed is the part that's hitting them hardest right now, because deep down they know they could have, they had what they needed, they just didn't. And the difference between couldn't and didn't is the heaviest realization there is. Couldn't has compassion in it. Didn't doesn't. And the Oracle card, you weren't asking for too much. They weren't willing to give what was normal. You weren't asking for too much. They weren't willing to give what was normal. And I really need you to hear this. Because when something ends like this, when you've been the one trying, there's always this voice in your head that asks if you wanted too much, if you should have been okay with less, if you were being unreasonable. And your guides are saying, no, what you were asking for was normal, basic, the kind of thing that should be present in any real connection: attention, care, effort, reciprocation. You weren't being demanding, they were being insufficient. And the difference between those two framings is huge. Drop a comment and say, I wasn't asking for too much. Because you weren't. You never were. The Three of Swords, the Moon, the King of Cups reversed. Okay, Three of Swords, the Moon, and the King of Cups reversed. For what the bad news actually felt like when it hit them. Three of Swords first, and the Three of Swords is the heartbreak card. Piercing pain goes straight through. And in this position, the Three of Swords is showing me whatever happened, it didn't bounce off them. It went all the way in. Like, they couldn't deflect it. They couldn't laugh it off. They couldn't tell themselves a story about why it didn't matter. It just landed. And it stayed. And Three of Swords pain that arrives suddenly is the hardest kind. because you don't have time to brace. You don't have time to construct your defenses. You just take the hit, and then you have to live with everything the hit revealed, which in their case is everything they did wrong. Then the moon. And the moon here is so specific because the moon is what they were hiding from themselves. Every truth about how they were treating you, every conversation they were avoiding, every aspect of their own behavior they didn't want to look at, all of it has been operating in the dark in their head. They could function because they never had to fully see what they were doing. And the moon coming up now means the light is on. They can see it, all of it, the whole pattern, the whole way they were showing up. And they can't unsee it. And the worst part of the moon when it reveals something at full volume is there's no escape from your own reflection at that point. They're stuck with it, alone in their own head, with everything they've been avoiding. And the King of Cups reversed, and the King of Cups upright is the emotionally mature one, the one who can handle hard things with grace, who communicates, who shows up. And reversed, that's all gone. They're emotionally flooded right now. They're not coping well. They might be reacting badly to people around them, making it everyone else's problem, drinking more, isolating, or doing something weird like posting strange things or sending stuff that doesn't make sense. The King of Cups reversed is what happens when someone avoids their emotions for so long that they catch up all at once. And there's no graceful way to receive years of suppressed feeling in one moment, which is why they're a mess right now. Not your problem, but happening as. And the Oracle card, every chance you gave them is now a memory they have to live with. Every chance you gave them is now a memory they have to live with. And this is the heart of why their stress is so deep. Because there were chances, multiple ones, real ones. You handed them opportunities to choose differently, to show up, to repair, to prove they actually cared, and they didn't take any of them. And now every single one of those moments, every conversation where you were trying, every door you held open, every chance they had to make this work is replaying in their head, looking different than it looked when it happened. Because at the time, it just looked like you being patient, or you being too forgiving, or you not really needing them to change. And now they understand every one of those was a real moment that mattered. And they wasted all of them. And they have to live with that. The Empress, the world, the sun. Okay, Empress, the world, the sun, for where you're going. And this is the part of the reading I'm honestly excited to deliver to you. Empress first, and the Empress is who you become now, not who you have to perform, who you actually are when you're not pouring all your energy into someone who refuses to grow. Because here's something I want you to really sit with. Being with someone who wastes every chance takes energy, a lot of energy. And the Empress is what comes online when that energy comes back to you. Your creativity, your radiance, your softness, your sense of yourself. The Empress doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't try to convince anyone she's worth it. She knows. And she lives from that knowing, and you're becoming her right now, in real time, whether you can feel it yet or not. And the Empress version of you doesn't return to anything that didn't honor her in the first place. Then the world, and the world is completion, not just of this chapter, of the pattern. Like whatever's been showing up in your love life that mirrored what was happening with this person, that completes too. And the World card means you don't have to repeat this. Don't have to find another version of them. Don't have to attract the same lesson dressed up differently. You learned it. You got it. The cycle closed. And what comes after a closed cycle is something genuinely new. Not a remix, not a slight variation, new. And the world card showing up here means the universe is putting a clear line between the version of your life that had them in it and the version that doesn't. You're crossing that line right now. And the sun is what becomes available when you stop carrying their weight. Like, you might not have realized how dim things were until you started feeling lighter, until you started laughing easier, until things you used to enjoy started feeling enjoyable again. That's the sun coming back. And the sun has a quality I want to name specifically. It's not the happiness of someone who never went through anything. It's the happiness of someone who went through something hard and came out the other side, still themselves, still real, still whole. And that kind of sun is the unshakable kind, because it was earned and it's yours and it's coming faster than you think. Drop a comment and say, my sun is coming back. Because it is, and it's not going anywhere this time. Okay, tea leaf cards, 6 of them. First tea leaf card. Someone awake at 3 a.m., finally seeing it for what it was. Someone awake at 3 a.m., finally seeing it for what it was. And this is where their head is right now. Multiple nights, maybe in a row, not sleeping. Not because of insomnia, because their brain won't stop showing them things. Specific moments, specific words they said to you that they wish they could take back. Specific moments where they could have shown up differently and didn't. And 3 a.m. is the worst time to be confronted with yourself, because there's nothing else to focus on, no distractions, just you and the truth. And they're being held in that truth night after night right now. And they can't get out of it. Next tea leaf card. A door they used to walk through freely, no longer opening when they push. A door they used to walk through freely, no longer opening when they push. And this is going to be a specific moment for them where they assume they have access, the kind of access they always had, and they reach. And it doesn't respond. And the lack of response is going to be more jarring than any direct rejection could be. Because rejection means there's still someone there to reject you. No response means they're not even on your radar anymore. You're not thinking about them. You're not waiting for them. You're not even available to be hurt by them anymore. And that specific energy, the unavailability, is going to be the loudest thing they've ever encountered. Next tea leaf card. You going through your day without checking your phone every 5 minutes. You going through your day without checking your phone every 5 minutes. And this is one of the most healing tea leaf cards I can imagine for someone in your position, because there was a phase where you were checking, hoping, waiting, even when you didn't want to be hoping or waiting. And the tea leaf card is showing me that phase is ending. It's already ending. You're starting to go stretches without checking, stretches without thinking about it, stretches without the part of you that was waiting for them to do something different. And the more time you spend in that phone down, attention on your own life, not waiting for anything, the lighter you get. And they can feel that lightness too, even from where they are. Which is making it worse for them, not your problem, but happening. Next tea leaf card. Them realizing nobody else is going to treat them the way you did. Them realizing nobody else is going to treat them the way you did. And this is the realization that's going to come and stay. Because the thing about being with someone like you, someone who gives, someone who tries, someone who keeps showing up, is they get used to it. They normalize it. They start to think everyone treats people that way. And they go out into the world and find out, no, most people don't. What you had was specific. The way you loved them was specific. The level of effort you put in was specific. And once you've had that and lost it because you didn't appreciate it, you start measuring everything against it and nothing measures up. And that's going to be their reality going forward. Not in a few weeks, for a long time, because what you offered them was rare. And rare things don't have replacements. Next tea leaf card. Someone new looking at you the way they should have. Someone new looking at you the way they should have. And this is what I'm most excited to tell you. Because there's someone out there, hasn't shown up yet but is on the way, who is going to look at you the way the ex should have but didn't. Who's going to notice things, who's going to be present, who's going to use the magician's tools when they have them. And the moment they look at you that way for the first time, you're going to feel something you forgot existed. Because you got so used to having to ask for basic attention, and this person doesn't make you ask. And that experience is one of the most healing things that can happen. And it's coming, not in some abstract future. Soon. And the last tea leaf card, a version of your life that doesn't have them in it, and it's better. A version of your life that doesn't have them in it, and it's better. And your guides ended on this on purpose because they know that some part of you might still be processing whether you're really going to be okay, whether the life on the other side of this is going to feel as full. And they're saying, yes, better. Not similar with their absence noticeable, better. You sleep better, you think clearer, you laugh easier, you attract different people, you feel like yourself in a way you haven't in maybe years. And this isn't a maybe. This isn't if you do everything right. This is what's actually waiting for you in the version of your life that doesn't have them in it, which is the version of your life you're already in. Okay, final messages from your guides. 6 cards. Their stress is not your responsibility to ease. Their stress is not your responsibility to ease. And your guides know you. They know your instinct when someone is hurting is to want to help. Even when the someone hurting is the someone who hurt you. And they're saying, not this time. Their stress is theirs. They earned it through their own choices. They wasted every chance you handed them, and now they have to sit with that. And you trying to ease it would just delay the lesson they need to fully learn. Don't soften it for them. Don't reach out to make them feel better. Don't take responsibility for the consequences of their own behavior. This isn't your job. This is theirs. Next, final card. Do not let them back in just because they're hurting now. Do not let them back in just because they're hurting now. And this is going to be the test, because at some point, could be days, could be weeks, could be months, they're going to reach when the stress peaks, when the realization is heaviest, when they're most desperate for it to feel different than it does. And they're going to come with words, maybe even good ones. Maybe they'll finally say things they should have said a long time ago. And your guides are saying, don't let recent feelings rewrite the history. The feelings they're having now would have changed everything if they'd had them when they had the chance. They didn't. They had years of chances. And what they did with those chances is what defined this. Don't undo the lesson by giving them a do-over they didn't earn. Next, final card. What you lost wasn't actually working, you just hoped it would. What you lost wasn't actually working, you just hoped it would. And this is so important for the grief part of this, because you might be grieving. Probably are, even if it's quiet. And your guides want you to be clear about what you're grieving. You're not grieving something that was working. You're grieving the version of it you hoped could exist. The version where they showed up. The version where they used their tools. The version where you got back even a fraction of what you gave. That version was hope, not reality. And walking away from that hope is hard. But the actual thing you were walking away from was draining you. You didn't lose anything that was working. You released something that was working against you. Next, final card. The right people don't need to be convinced you're worth it. The right people don't need to be convinced you're worth it. And this is one of the most important final messages for you. Because at some point in this dynamic with them, you were probably convincing, showing them, demonstrating, trying to prove what was right in front of them. And your guides are saying, that's not how it works with the right people. The right people see it immediately. They don't need a presentation. They don't need you to prove anything. They look at you and go, yeah, that's what I want. No convincing required. And that's what's coming. People who don't need you to be a salesman for your own worth, who just see it and respond accordingly. From the very first interaction. Next, final card. Save this and come back when you don't think about them anymore. Save this reading and come back when you don't think about them anymore. Save it right now, bookmark it, share it with someone today. Because when you share a reading like this with someone going through the same thing, what comes back to you is tenfold. And come back here when you've genuinely moved on, when their name doesn't carry weight, when you go full days then weeks without them crossing your mind. Drop a comment when you make it to that place, and you will, faster than you think, and we want to know when you do. And the very last card, they wasted every chance, and that's not a reflection of what you deserved. They wasted every chance, and that's not a reflection of what you deserved. Your guides saved this for last because they really need you to internalize it. What they did with you isn't a measurement of your worth, it's a measurement of who they are. And who they are couldn't rise to what you offered. That's not on you. That has never been on you. The love you gave was real. The chances you offered were generous. The patience you showed was extraordinary. All of that was the kind of investment that pays off when the recipient is capable of receiving it. They weren't capable, and the right person, the next person is going to be. And when they are, you're going to look back at this season and understand exactly why it had to end the way it did, because what they wasted was never going to be wasted on the right person. And the right person is who you're getting to. Okay, to wrap this up, sudden bad news hit them. They're stressed AF. They wasted every chance you gave them. And the cards showed us everything. The Tower and the Eight of Swords and the Five of Cups showed us what hit them. The consequences arriving before they were ready. The Seven of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Cups and the Magician reversed showed us what they did with every opportunity. Nothing. The Three of Swords and the Moon and the King of Cups reversed showed us the specific stress they're in right now. And the Empress and the World and the Sun showed us where you're going. Somewhere that has nothing to do with them. And them awake at 3 a.m. seeing it clearly for the first time, the door not opening when they push, you going through your day without checking your phone, them realizing nobody else will treat them the way you did, someone new looking at you the way they should have, a version of your life without them that's actually better, all of it confirming they wasted it. And the wasting was never about you. Claim this, loves. Drop a comment and say, I see this clearly, and I wasn't asking for too much, and my son is coming back. Because every word of that is true. Save this, share it with someone today, and come back when you've moved on. We want to know if this resonated. Please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, and tell me what hit hardest. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Thank you so much for being here today. Take really good care of yourself. Hold on to your peace. And remember, they wasted every chance. And the right people won't waste a single one. This is Moonveil Tarot signing off. Bye, loves.